Welcome back to Intables, everyone. So I'm going to go with you guys in the S&P 500. Again, this is the SPY. And then I'm going to go with you guys in RPTX, a major breakout that we had from the Intables room today. What exactly give us confirmation to continue on up there? As you guys can see, last Thursday, we had a gap up that we did have. And then we had a continuation on Friday. We continued on higher here. So the question was, are we going to continue on above our confirmation that we had on Friday last week to have our continuation on our gap up? As you guys can see, we did come down yesterday. We did bounce off of that level. We did mention the Intables room, and then we came back down and we did bounce off of it once again. So the question from here is, are we going to continue on higher that we had on the double bottom for the last couple of days off of our level that we did have confirmation on a continuation that we had again from last Friday's gap up? As you guys can see, again, we did break into newer highs on the week. So our question is, are we going to continue on here? I'm going to go over exactly what we're looking for here on the larger time frames. Now, before I jump into this, all I ask in return is you smash that like button and hit subscribe if you want to see more chart updates every single day that I mentioned throughout the week. And if you are a day trader or you are looking for intraday perspective breakouts, we mentioned pre-market news before market open every single day. Again, a major breakout like we had with RPTX. We did mention that we were trying to break above into newer highs from pre-markets news, and we did continue on higher. We went over 54% on the day. So again, if you guys are looking for these breakouts, go to instables.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout like the day again. So let's jump into this one. So jumping into the daily chart with you guys here on the S&P 500, as you guys can see, again, we have been tracking the lower end of our channel to see if we can have a bounce. We did have a bounce last week. We got our bounce on our hammer candle coming out on Monday, and then we did continue on higher on another hammer candle coming out, and then we did have that confirmation above our channel that we have been tracking. And as you guys can see, again, we did jump back over our 20-day moving average, and we were looking to see if we can respect it, start to curl up here so that way we can cross above our 50-day moving average, and we were looking for that consolidation above our 20. So far, we have been consolidating above our 20 moving average. As you guys can see on our MACD here, we were tracking if we were going to continue on with buy pressure. We have been continuing on with buy pressure, so we have been continuing with strength. We did not completely flush this morning. We did have a pullback as Leo Brainerd was speaking on speculation on possible increases in rates, but no guarantee there. Again, Powell has the better say. So we did have a bounce back. We broke into newer highs on the week again, and we were looking to see if we can continue. And so now we are looking at what kind of momentum we do have here. Again, last week we did mention that we did have our EMA lines that were crossing up, and we are still pointing up. Again, overall, we do want to see if we can get our EMA lines above our MACD to see if we can continue on with strength. As you guys can see, again, we are pointing up. We want to see if we can continue on above the median of our MACD. And again, next week we are leading into the CPI inflation reports, so we're going to keep that in mind as we are leading into the median of our MACD with our EMA lines. And looking at the RSI here, as you guys can see, again, we did get a slight pullback yesterday, and we were looking to see if we can get that spike and continue on above our highs that we had from the day before. And so we're going to be looking for that continuation with our RSI. Overall, we are above our 50 RSI, so that does show us that we still could continue on higher. We want to continue to point up here. As you guys can see on our volume, we haven't been increasing in volume, and again, that volume could come late. This very much could just be a flag that we are consolidating within to have a break higher. So we're going to be looking for that possible break on this flag. But again, keeping in mind that we do have our 20 below our 50, which does show us that we still could continue on lower. So we want to see if our 20 moving average could start to curl up here. And as you guys can see on our Bollinger Bands, we have been tracking the upper end and the lower end of our channel to see if we were going to continue on either higher or go in consolidation mode. Again, we have been having that spike last week. We were mentioning that we need to consolidate and get a healthier move up. And as you guys can see, just as we mentioned yesterday, we were pointing down. So we didn't get that complete strength to the upside. We are pointing down here still on our Bollinger Band and pointing up on the lower end, which again is showing us that we are getting within consolidation, possibly looking for a squeeze either higher or lower here. So we're going to keep an eye on the battle of our upper end and our lower end of our Bollinger Bands here to see if we do continue on higher with decompression or if we do continue on lower. Again, previously we had a very similar situation. We had decompression. We were pointing down on each side, and then we had that squeeze here looking for that stronger move up or down, and then we had our momentum candle breaking into the lower end of our deviation here, showing us that pressure to the downside. So we'll be looking for that either body of the candle to break above the upper end of our deviation here to give us that compression to the upside, or possibly break down below our 20 moving average to possibly test the lower end of our Bollinger Band. So we'll see exactly how this plays out, but again, very much just looking for a possible flag to be broken here, either to the upside or the downside here after we had, again, our bounce from last week on our hammer candles coming out. And again, keeping in mind our overall momentum is leading into next week's CPI. So again, a lot of Feds have been going back and forth. You can see that large reaction that we had this morning with Leo Brainerd speaking. So the market is very much on watch on exactly what our CPI inflation numbers are, because a lot of Feds think that we're on the cover of inflation, and then some think that we're not on the cover of inflation. So again, looking at that data next week will be very key on exactly what we see Fed start leading into. So we'll keep that in mind as we are leading into next week. Now, we had a major breakout with RPTX this morning. Again, I did mention them in pre-market. So again, a major spike on volume in pre-market, and I did notice this, and I looked back and we had news from yesterday here. So I did post this in the Insta room, and we were looking to see if we can break continuer highs, as we were, again, gradually getting momentum, as a lot of stocks were not getting momentum in pre-market. So I saw this as a possible opportunity, and we did continue on higher. As you guys can see, we did have our 20 that was holding our 50 throughout the duration of the day. Even when we came back down, if we were looking for a possible continuation, even though we did pull back, was to look to see if we can hold our 20 over our 50, and we did get that momentum to the upside, but again, a very high risk play, as we were overall consolidating higher today. So we would have had a hold throughout a lot of this pullback, and again, a very high risk play, but a very nice play out the gate. And then if you did hold throughout the day, of course, you guys pretty much stayed green if you guys did hold. And again, a very nice spike at the end of the day, over 15% on that break right here. As you guys can see, we had that increase in buy pressure at the end of the day, giving us multiple confirmations, but not exactly breaking above our buy pressure that we had from this morning. So again, a nice play. However, again, taking consideration that we didn't have as much buy pressure, and again, getting a pullback at the end of the day. So we would have taken a quick play here if we were looking at our MACD for that confirmation and breaking above our buy pressure points that we had in the middle of the day here. So again, a very nice confirmation here on RPTX on multiple breaks if you guys were watching this. Now, as far as a continuation here on the larger time frames, as you guys can see, we do have a rejection and a continuation on lower here at about 14.16, just below our $15 psychological resistance, which is our wicks that we had to the upside here. So I would be careful here. I would be looking to see if we can break over 15 if we were going to continue on higher. But again, we do have our 20 below our 50 on the daily chart. So not exactly expecting that to happen unless we did get our 20 to cross back over our 50. That's usually what has to happen for us to continue on with bounces. So again, a very nice breakout today. Not exactly expecting a continuation, as most runners have not been continuing into the next day. But however, overall focused on that pre-market news and exactly how we open out the gate, what exactly our momentum is on the day to get that continuation. And again, confirmations that we have either on the MACD or on our 20 moving average holding over our 50 throughout the day. Now, again, with that said, if you are a day trader or you guys are looking for intraday perspective breakouts that we mentioned throughout the day, go to instabulls.com in the description below, and you will never miss a breakout alert today again. And again, all of you instabulls that come over every single day and support the channel, we're going to continue to go at it, take what the market gives us. A very fishy day this morning with Microsoft's guidance giving us momentum to the downside in pre-market, and then Leo Brainerd speaking right out the gate. Very crazy movement this morning, but very happy that we closed green on the week. We're going to see if we can continue on above 417 that we did close above going into extended hours. And again, if you guys do like this video, it does help the channel grow, and I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in pre-market.